My ex started abusing me again. I ruined her college education. I, 21M, met my ex-girlfriend Renee, fake name, 20F, 4 years ago when we were 17 and 16 in specific. We were off and on because of her behavior and mine as well. It was toxic and we weren't best suited. I was untrusting and cold some days. She was always drinking and going out with other people and couldn't be bothered with me unless she had a bad day. She constantly went out drinking, sending explicit pics to other guys, having sex and then blaming it on assault so I wouldn't freak out. And I handled it poorly by being strict and creating rules and being way too overprotective of her, which I can admit is my bad. But she always made me the source of her issues and blamed me for her parents hating her, her sister being mean to her, not having a social life. Even thought I stopped her from suicide when I met her, helped her finish high school, and helped her get a scholarship to my local university. We finally broke up when she moved here for college from a few states away almost 2 years ago, when she at 19 started dating the minor behind my back. I went on with my life and she went on with hers. I met somebody and we had a perfectly healthy relationship and she brought out the best in me and made me become a better person until a month ago when I lost her to complications in her life and she had to leave. I grieved as I needed and continued trying to do better like she always wanted for me. Flash forward a week ago when Renee and I ran into each other and started talking again, told her how my life was going, she talked about hers, and we started being friends again. She knew I was grieving and at first was incredibly sympathetic and I figured we could have a good friendship. After a day she started comparing me to her new boyfriend, 21M, and making fun of me for things I lacked and would rub in my face how better he is at everything compared to me. The shoe dropped when she started rubbing in my face about having sex with him and how it must suck knowing I can't again with my ex. I'm fine with being insulted, but bringing her up knowing my pain pushed a line. I told her to knock it off and don't talk about it and she proceeded to treat me like a client at her job. She helps mentally disabled people and knows I have a slight disability and kept telling me that if I don't want to be talked to like that then stop telling her what to do. She gets drunk one night and starts yelling at me about our relationship and all the issues she endured for being with me. I apologized and made my amends because I can agree I wasn't always the best. Never expected her to apologize for hers, but made clear how sorry I was for my part as I know I wasn't always correct, and she finally went to bed. Next night she calls me at 1 a.m. She gets incredibly drunk, starts calling me names and saying I'm mean because she's bringing up sex with her BF and how she's doing it while texting to me, and I get sick of it and tell her to go away. She makes comments she's gonna keep screwing him, to where I make a comment of that's nice, now if only he could satisfy, which brought her boyfriend into a rage and threatening to shoot me, and then Renee pipes up and says she should go find my ex and tell her how horrible I used to be and ruin everything so if the day comes where she can come back, she will never want to see me again. Cue my nuclear revenge. They both were college students living in the dorm on scholarships. The college has a rule against alcohol and you will lose your scholarship if caught with it. So I contacted the police, gave them her dorm number, explained she's underage drinking, her boyfriend is supplying the alcohol, and she's currently having sex in the dorm with him. Police show up, dorm roommates let them in, knock on the door, catch her drunk with all sorts of alcohol from over state lines. My state has a lesser alcohol rating, so stuff from the next state over is double an ALC percentage, and catch them both obviously having sex while she's drunk. She ends up charged with underage drinking, he's charged with giving alcohol to a minor and is looking at added sexual assault charges because he got her drunk and then screwed her while she's under the legal age. And both of their scholarships were lost and were expelled, and now both have to leave town and they both live in entirely different states. She wants to make me feel lesser? Enjoy losing your education. Edit. Apologies for some of the poor writing. English isn't my first language, so I had to reword a few things with help from a dictionary. Update. I ended up talking with her roommate on campus. The assault charges didn't stick because she said it was consensual before drinking. I'm at least glad they check on stuff like that in case it is not. Her parents came down and grabbed her things with her and left. Her roommate didn't like the BF anyways. She said because he was just an asshole to everybody, but Renee didn't tell her it was me who called campus police, but I'm sure they know who called. Renee and her BF are still together, just living back at home till they figure something out. To be fair, her boyfriend threatened physical harm to me, and she insulted me multiple times. At least on the bright side, he's too far away to hurt me now. Do I think I was nuclear on this? Yes. Do I feel bad? A little bit. I can definitely see the immaturity and people's comments and understand where I need to improve as a person. FAQ: how could police come in without there being justifiable cause? A. Campus has its own police department, and if there's anything that breaks dorm rules, the R.A has all dorm keys and can let them in. They've come in my ex's dorm for a roommate on suspicion of hiding alcohol, and they're permitted to search because they're on campus property. Question: why would you even talk to her again? / not block her? A. I haven't seen her in over a year. I changed a lot since then. I felt she deserved the right to have a chance as well. She was really nice at first, but obviously I forgot who I was dealing with. Losing somebody and the isolation from it and grieving didn't put me in the best place. I expected some hard feelings to work through. Not that. Question: why would they even consider assault charges? A. Older guy gives girl under the legal age of alcohol consumption a mind-altering substance and has sex with her. Our campus has a problem with that. Question: how is 20 underage? A. Underage drinking is considered anybody under the age of 21 here. Revenge is a dish best served cold. Mine has been cooling for 10 years and counting. I, 40F, have been married to my husband, 44M, for 20 years now. We have 2 kids, 16F and 13M. My husband is what I would consider a high earner by middle-class standards. Also, strap in folks, this is going to be long. I've never told anyone, so TLDR, my husband cheated on me. I dragged the guilting for almost a decade, then ruined his life and chased him out of town. 10 years ago, and by complete coincidence, I found out that my husband has been cheating on me with men, and that from before we got married. We live in a smallish town in the south of the USA. Him coming out as gay will have consequences. I believe that is the only reason he has not come out to anyone. First, here's how I found out he was cheating on me. He got sloppy, left a credit card bill for a secret card in the pocket of a coat. While going through it, I found all the telltale signs of infidelity: payments to a hotel in a nearby county, restaurant bills, gifts, flowers, condoms and lubricant, etc. I started camping outside the hotel on days he told me he would be late, and I saw him bringing different men there. I am very good at compartmentalization and have a great poker face. Comes with growing up in an abusive household, so I was able to give myself the time to cool off and to come up with what I should do. First thing I did was getting an STD panel, since I didn't know how safe he was with his partners. It came out negative. Then I convinced him that we should use condoms, since I was having side effects from the pill. He was okay with it. I had a long think, and I came up to the decision that I was not going to confront him, nor was I going to leave him. He was able to provide me a really good lifestyle, one that I would never be able to afford with my high school diploma: a cleaning lady, a nanny to help with the kids, regular spa days and a country club, a new car every other year, luxury family vacations every year. He was a good dad, a good partner, the cheating aside, and really good in bed. But I was not going to let him have a single guilt-free week in his life. That would be my revenge. I started small, planning great date nights for us, telling him that I felt our relationship has cooled, that I wanted the spark back. Then I would sometimes slip into conversation some tea about a cheating husband, a gassed gay man that has been using his poor wife as a beard, complimenting the only gay couple we know for having the courage of being real men who were out and proud of themselves. On the other hand, I would praise him as the perfect husband to anyone and everyone, especially if he was in earshot. The amount of guilt gifts I got was astounding. The man was even sending me flowers weekly. It continued the same way for years. I could literally see how much it was weighing on him. Me? Well, my parents were part of a commune with the concept of free love. I was the same. I just considered myself in an open marriage. It seems that cheating is easier to ignore if you are not that big on monogamy in the first place. And my husband was keeping me satisfied, so I felt no need to find a partner of my own. Then 4 years ago, I guess he met the love of his life. He started seeing just the one guy. I was seriously thinking of ending the whole thing, especially since I have started a business by then and was able to bring in enough money to support myself and my kids while maintaining my lifestyle. But then he went and introduced his side piece to us. He fucking brought him into our house, introduced him to our kids, and that was enough for me to keep tormenting him. Apparently, he was a new friend he made while golfing. He started hinting at moving to another state, one where it would be easier for him to come out. I refused. I told him that my business was here, and I was not going to start over in another state. Also, the kids had their friends and extended family here. It would be unfair to uproot them. Then he started trying to start arguments. I guess he wanted us to fight, then for me to ask for a divorce. I just stopped all those arguments in their tracks. I would just agree with whatever he said. He was right, I was wrong. And to make it up to him, How about a nice dinner and some great sex? He hated that. I knew from spying on his phone that having sex with me felt like cheating on his BF, the audacity of this man. I also knew that his BF was pressuring him to leave me almost every day. He was stuck between a rock and a hard place. He started drinking, and when it got too heavy, that was when I decided that enough was enough. I wanted to ruin his life, not his health. Also, I grew up with an alcoholic father and did not want that for my kids. So I gathered all the evidence of his infidelity over the last 9 years, photos with different men, conversations, his Grindr profile, even though he no longer had one. Everything. Then I hired a divorce attorney and mailed the evidence to his employer. He has a morality clause in his contract, and adultery breaks it. All his relatives, including parents, as well as our church, I was never big on religion like him. It was like a bomb exploded. He was fired. The congregation turned on him for cheating, not for being gay. Let's keep that straight. I would never allow me kids to be part of a church that discriminated against their father. Even if he was not out, his parents wouldn't take him in after I kicked him out, and he was shamed publicly. Gotta love that small town gossip mill. And the cherry on the top? His BF was run out of the town, and he couldn't follow him because he wanted to fight for custody of our kids. Now, almost a year later, I am a free woman. I got to keep the house, my car, and my business. He got 75% of the retirement and investments accounts, but he won't be paying alimony. I got full custody. He got visitations. I also got child support. He had to move 6 hours away to find a new job. Couldn't put the last job he worked at his whole life as a reference. His relationship with his family is rocky. His reputation in town is ruined, so he can't move back anytime soon. The love of his life left him for good, and my kids only tolerate him because I did my best to shield them and to tell them that he is still a good father to them. I also made sure to treat him politely, never talk bad about him, and had a lengthy talk about how their father being gay is okay. It's who he is, and that it was not his fault. That the only wrong thing he did was hiding it from me. So I guess the results of his cheating was years of guilt followed by a ruined life. Edit. Let's make something clear. I am not the good person in this story. We were both bad. I am not here trying to get pats on the back or to be told that I did well. I know that what I did was messed up. I am here because I wanted to tell someone, and I can't do that IRL. How do you like this story? Write your opinion in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. I love you.